The lunch rush had only been going for an hour when Emily, a young waitress working at a busy downtown restaurant, felt her hands start to shake. She had handled difficult customers before. She had worked double shifts. She had carried plates until her arms ached. But nothing prepared her for the loud laughter coming from table 7, the table with 3 sharply dressed men who seemed determined to ruin her day. And she had no idea that someone was standing behind them, watching everything. What happened next would not only change Emily's life, but also remind everyone in that restaurant, and everyone hearing this story, why kindness still matters. Before the story continues, a quick reminder: if you love real stories that inspire kindness, compassion, and hope, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Lights. Don't forget to like this video and comment below about a moment when kindness changed your day. Your support truly helps us spread the light. Now, let's begin. Emily had been working at the restaurant for almost 2 years. She wasn't trying to get rich. She wasn't chasing a dream of fame. She was simply trying to pay her rent, take care of her sick mother, and get through each day with dignity. Most days were long but predictable. People ordered. She served. Everyone moved on. But the 3 men at table 7, Mark, Jeremy, and Cole, seemed to think the world revolved around them. They came in laughing loudly, wearing expensive suits and talking about numbers Emily didn't even understand: million-dollar deals, business takeovers, luxury vacations. She could tell immediately, they were the kind of customers who believed they were better than everyone else. When she approached the table with a smile, they didn't smile back. Mark, the one who seemed to be the leader, didn't even look at her when he spoke. "You're late," he said, tapping his watch even though she had arrived within seconds. Jeremy lifted his menu, glanced at it for half a second, and tossed it onto the table. "Just don't mess up my order. Last time I had a waitress ruin my whole afternoon." Cole added, "And try to be quick. Some of us actually have important things to do." Their voices were cold. Sharp. The type of tone meant to make someone feel small. Emily swallowed her nerves and nodded. "Of course, sir. What can I get started for you today?" What followed was 30 painful minutes of insults, complaints, and mocking laughter. They complained about the temperature of the water, the speed of service, the background music, even the way Emily breathed too loudly when she stood near them. And every time she apologized, they smirked as if they enjoyed making her feel worse. When she brought their meals, Mark leaned back in his chair and said loudly enough for nearby tables to hear, "I don't know why restaurants hire people like her. She looks like she's one mistake away from crying." People turned to look. Emily froze for a moment, embarrassed, wishing the floor would swallow her. But she forced herself to keep going. She still didn't know that a tall man in a navy suit had quietly walked into the restaurant behind them. He wasn't sitting at a table. He wasn't smiling. He was simply watching. What Emily didn't know yet was that this man was Daniel Brooks, the billionaire owner of the entire restaurant chain. Daniel often visited his restaurants unannounced, not to monitor the food or the decor, but to watch how people treated one another. He believed kindness was the foundation of good business and good life, and today, he was witnessing the opposite. The moment that truly broke Emily came when she returned with their bill. The men looked at it, laughed, and pushed it back toward her. "We're not paying for this," Mark said. "The service was slow, the food was cold, and you clearly don't know how to do your job." Emily's face warmed, her heartbeat racing in her ears. "Sir, everything was made correctly. I really tried." "And you failed," Jeremy snapped. "We're leaving." They stood up abruptly, grabbing their expensive jackets. Other customers stared, whispers floating in the air. Emily felt humiliation rising in her chest. She reached for the bill with trembling hands. That's when a deep, calm voice spoke behind the meant "Here a problem here." The 3 men turned. Their confident expressions flickered for the first time. Standing behind them was Daniel, hands clasped, eyes steady, presence unmistakable. Even people who didn't know his name could feel he was someone important. Mark straightened his shoulders. "Yeah, your waitress, if you can call her that, messed up the whole experience. We're not paying for this disaster." Daniel didn't even look at them. His eyes were on Emily, who stared back, stunned. "Did you do your best?" he asked her softly. She nodded, trying not to cry. "Yes. I really did." He returned the nod. Then that's all that matters. Only then did he turn to the men with a calmness that made the entire room fall silent. You will pay your bill, Daniel said. And you will add a 50% tip. If you choose not to, you will not be welcome in any of my restaurants again. The color drained from their faces. Your restaurants, Jeremy asked. Daniel nodded once. I'm the owner. The room buzzed. Phones were lifted. People whispered. The men looked at each other, speechless, humiliated, stripped of the arrogance they had carried like armor. Without another word, they pulled out their wallets, paid the bill, added the tip, and walked out quickly, their heads lowered. When the door closed behind them, Daniel approached Emily. You handled that with grace, he said. I'm proud of you. Emily blinked back tears. Thank you. I just try to be kind, even when people aren't. Daniel smiled gently. And that's why kindness always wins. Because it shines brightest when life feels darkest. He asked her about her work, her mother, her struggles. By the end of the conversation, he offered her a promotion, a raise, and time off to care for her mom. Emily covered her mouth, overwhelmed with gratitude. But Daniel simply said, the world needs more people like you. People who stay kind, even when others forget how. As Emily walked back into the kitchen, wiping her tears, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time, hope. And the entire restaurant applauded her. Kindness didn't just change her day. It changed her life. Let this story be a reminder to all of us, you never know who's watching, and you never know how far kindness can reach. One simple act of respect, one moment of compassion, can shift someone's entire